General Hospital spoilers. Sonny gives Ava a big cut of the profits, regardless of protecting Avery. The sun had barely risen over Port Charles when Sonny Corinthos found himself standing in his penthouse, staring out at the harbor. The weight of the world rested on his shoulders, a familiar burden for the mob boss turned family man. His thoughts were consumed by one person, Avery, his youngest daughter. Protecting her was non-negotiable, but recent developments with Ava Jerome had thrown his world into turmoil. A deal too good to refuse. Sonny had always been a master negotiator, but Ava was no slouch. She'd recently approached him with an intriguing proposal, a business deal that could increase profits for both of them. Ava owned part of the Metro Court, and her art gallery was flourishing. But this wasn't about art or hotels. It was about a new venture that promised to be lucrative. Ava's pitch was simple. Sonny's resources and connections combined with her business acumen could make them both a fortune. Initially, Sonny had dismissed the idea. Trusting Ava was always a gamble. Their history was fraught with betrayal, manipulation, and tragedy. But as much as Sonny despised Ava for her past misdeeds, she was still Avery's mother. And that complicated everything. After days of deliberation, Sonny decided to meet Ava at the Metro Court to discuss the deal. Carly, his ex-wife and the perpetual thorn in Ava's side, had warned him against it. "You can't trust her, Sonny," Carly had said, her voice laced with frustration. "She'll stab you in the back the moment it benefits her." But Sonny wasn't naive. He knew Ava's motives were never purely altruistic. Still, the potential profits were too significant to ignore, especially with his empire facing threats from rivals. The meeting. Ava arrived at the Metro Court's rooftop bar dressed to kill, her signature confidence on full display. Sonny was already seated, his expression unreadable. He'd learned long ago never to reveal his hand too early. "Sonny," Ava greeted, her tone dripping with charm. "I'm glad you decided to meet." "Let's get to the point," Sonny replied, his voice steady. "What's this deal you're so eager about?" Ava slid a folder across the table. Inside were detailed plans for a joint venture, a high-end luxury resort on the outskirts of Port Charles. The location was prime, the concept innovative, and the projected profits staggering. "This could put Port Charles on the map," Ava explained. "We'd attract wealthy clientele from all over the world. And with your network, we could ensure smooth operations." Sonny raised an eyebrow. "You mean my connections could keep the competition out?" Ava smirked. "Call it what you want. But you and I both know this is a win-win." The terms. Despite his reservations, Sonny couldn't deny the potential. But he had one condition. Avery's safety came first. "If we do this, Ava, you're taking a big cut of the profits," Sonny said. "But that doesn't mean I'm letting my guard down. If anything you do puts Avery at risk, the deal's off." Ava's expression softened, a rare moment of vulnerability. "Sonny, I'd never do anything to hurt Avery. She's my daughter too." Sonny studied her carefully. Ava's love for Avery was genuine, but her ambition often clouded her judgment. Still, he decided to take the risk. "Fine," he said. "But remember, Ava, I'll be watching." The fallout. Word of the partnership spread quickly through Port Charles, and the reactions were predictably dramatic. Carly was furious, accusing Sonny of betraying their family. "How can you trust her after everything she's done?" Carly demanded. Jason Morgan, Sonny's trusted enforcer, was more pragmatic. "If this deal strengthens the business, it's worth considering," Jason said. "But we need to keep a close eye on Ava." Meanwhile, Nicholas Cassadine, Ava's husband, was surprisingly supportive. "Ava's a savvy businesswoman," Nicholas told Sonny. "This could be good for everyone involved." But not everyone was on board. Ava's brother, Julian Jerome, warned her about getting too close to Sonny. "He'll use you and toss you aside when it suits him," Julian said. Ava brushed off the warnings, confident in her ability to handle Sonny. But deep down, she knew this partnership would test their fragile truce. Protecting Avery. As the resort project moved forward, Sonny's primary focus remained on Avery. He increased security at his home and ensured that Avery was always accompanied by trusted guards. Ava, to her credit, cooperated fully, even agreeing to restrict her visits to times when Sonny approved. But trouble wasn't far behind. A rival mobster, sensing an opportunity to exploit Sonny's partnership with Ava, began targeting their venture. Threatening messages were sent, and a fire broke out at the construction site. Sonny suspected Cyrus Renaud, a longtime adversary, but he had no proof. Ava was shaken but refused to back down. "We can't let them scare us," she told Sonny. "If we give up now, they win." Sonny admired her determination, but he knew the stakes were higher than ever. Protecting Avery meant staying one step ahead of their enemies. The turning point. The tension came to a head when Avery's nanny was nearly abducted while picking her up from school. Sonny's fury was palpable, and he immediately blamed Ava for drawing unwanted attention. "This is exactly why I didn't want to work with you," Sonny snapped. "Your greed puts everyone at risk." Ava was devastated. "I never wanted this to happen," she said, tears streaming down her face. "I'd do anything to keep Avery safe." Realizing that their enemies were exploiting their partnership, Sonny and Ava decided to present a united front. They held a press conference, announcing increased security measures at the resort and vowing to see the project through. A fragile alliance. In the weeks that followed, the threat subsided and construction resumed. Sonny and Ava's partnership remained tense but functional. Despite their differences, they both wanted the same thing: a better future for Avery. As the resort neared completion, Sonny reflected on the journey. He'd taken a risk by trusting Ava, and while the road had been rocky, the results were undeniable. The profits from the venture would secure Avery's future and strengthen Sonny's empire. For Ava, the partnership was a chance to prove herself. She'd always been seen as a villain, but working with Sonny had shown her that she could be more. And while their alliance was far from perfect, it was a step toward redemption. The aftermath. On the day of the resort's grand opening, Sonny and Ava stood side by side, watching as guests arrived. The event was a success, and for a brief moment, the tension between them melted away. "We did it," Ava said, raising a glass of champagne. Sonny nodded.
"Yeah, we did.
"But don't think for a second that I'll let my guard down." Ava smirked. "Wouldn't expect anything less." As the night went on, Sonny and Ava's fragile alliance held strong. They'd faced countless challenges, but in the end, their shared love for Avery had brought them together. And while the future remained uncertain, one thing was clear: in Port Charles, anything was possible.